Big brother, are you too close?
Yeah, very.
Yeah, and always have been? When you were
Yes, and particularly since 1997, when my dad died. Our dad died. And Nick always looked very much up to his dad, our dad. And he gets his humour, his wicked sense of humour and very quick wit from my dad.
Your dad.
Without a doubt, yeah.
So how do you think he's doing? Are you enjoying watching him?
I'm loving it. I think he's doing incredibly well. Friends are constantly asking me, did he dive in because he wants to do that for the TV cameras? And did he give his pillow away to Anne because he wants, you know, to impress? Yeah. And I said, that is him. And I know lots of people be looking and saying, I don't believe him, but that is him. He is a genuinely nice guy.
But you watch DIY SOS, you know that. He handles that show so well because he just kind of mucks in with everybody and he can talk to anybody.
Well, he was ribbed from the very beginning because when he started, he had no knowledge of DIY at all. And the boys on the show, particularly Chris, Freddie, Arnott and Jules, they used to rib him about the fact that his knowledge was very little. And so he jumped in and dug a pit for them, which was about 6 foot deep, and they left him to do it on his own, to learn the hard way.
But it's good because he does muck in, doesn't he?
He does.
And now it's funny because on the camp everyone does rely on him. Like, as soon as something goes wrong, it's like...
Well, the cooking was the interesting thing, I think, because Nick's a great cook. I mean, he's mixed, rubbed shoulders with all the great cooks, you know. Gordon Ramsay made his birthday cake for his 50th birthday and things like that, you know, so he knows
Does he always cook for you all at Christmas? And...
he does, yes. I went into the kitchen once. He was cooking for 22 of us, and because he hired this place for us all to go. It was lovely, and we all went along, and he was cooking, and I walked in and said, you all right? And he said, yes, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. I said, OK, do you want me to do anything? He says, just stir the gravy. So I picked up a spoon and started stirring the gravy, and he went, not like that, like this. I said, I'll go outside and leave you to it. So he's very intense, Nick, but, I mean, that entire holiday for 22 people was paid for by Nick.
Well, when you say he's very intense, Noel Edmonds, I mean, the only person he's slightly... Oh, hello, throwing things around. The only person he's slightly clashed with was Noel Edmonds. And Noel has said in an interview that, you know, he's getting on everyone's nerves and that everyone's been nicked. He says he blows about and irritating people. What do you say to that?
That's a bit rich coming from Noel. But having said that, I think that's great TV. You know, I think Noel's a seasoned professional. He knows what people want to hear. I think that's what he's doing.
Do you think Nick's enjoying himself when you watch it?
I think the first 8, 9, 10 days he did. And I think we talked about it before he went in, and I said, what are you worried about? He said, well, you know, people are going to get ratty in there because you're put under such pressure. And I'm just worried that... well, he wasn't worried. Nick never gets worried about anything. He just deals with it as it comes along. But he said, the only thing is that if I get really ratty, then I don't... I said, well, you've got to be you. Yeah. The whole idea of the show is for you to be you at necessarily your lowest ebb at times, and then people will see what you really are like. And if that's warts and all, that's warts and all.
Do you think there's anyone in the jungle... Because there's normally, each year, isn't there, there's normally like a jungle romance in there. Is there anyone that would take Nick's fancy in there?
No, that's another thing that's I think it's really funny. A lot of people actually say to me, so he goes for the 25... Well, people half... He goes for the blondes half his age. And I said, no, he doesn't. He doesn't do that. Nick works incredibly hard. I mean, I'm incredibly hard. Because outside of his TV work, you have to remember that he's doing all these sorts of charity gigs and everything else that he does. And so he'll be going to bed at 2 in the morning, having gone to an auction for a charity gig, and it's not high enough, so he bids to try and build it up. Which is why he's got loads of things from auctions at his house, which have cost him a fortune. Because, honestly,
Now, what about that hopeless keep fit routine?
Oh, yeah, well, I'm going to rig him about
shocking.
that.
It was shocking.
Well, we both played rugby all our lives. He did it to a fairly high level down in Australia. He knows how to do a press-up. But the thing was...
He's doing it for the camera. I've been in the jungle, you know when...
Of course he was.
Yeah, you want to get as much camera time as possible.
Every young buck will do that.
Yeah,
what about the other
like
I'm going to show what I can do, you know. And...
You know, but he was saying about his music and his album, and he'd been jamming with Biffy Clyro, and Biffy Clyro have said, don't think that happened.
We don't remember.
Well, they did at the beginning. They put out a hashtag that said, not embarrassed about jamming with him. But the funny thing is, my son was with them, and it was several hours on top of the Sanctum at Soho. There were a few people there, so it's true. Yeah. How much went on there, I don't know, because I wasn't there.
But you're a musician,
as well.
Yeah.
Yes, I am all my life.
So is there any...
my passion. No, it's funny actually because Nick, no friction. No, I shouldn't do that. It means I'm lying, doesn't it? David Attenborough said. David Attenborough said. There's never been any friction. When I was 22, 23 and I started writing songs, and he put my tape, as they were in those days, a little tape in his backpack, and went up to London, sort of hawking it around the radio stations, trying to get people to listen to my music. But then, in his own words, I realised by the time this is his words, when I got to 23, I realised that the very little talent I had, the world needed to know about. But that's his humour. He's got a great humour. And
you've got your own album, haven't you? Uncovered.
I have, yes.
Do you and Nick ever collaborate? So he had his album last year, you've got your album now. Have you ever done anything together, or do you intend to?
I'd love to. I would love to if he ever found the time. I mean, we've done a few charity gigs together. These offers don't come along. I mean, mine's self-funded, and someone's offering to do an album for you to sing on. Why would you say no?
Oh, that's really nice.
So, and you've been great for him.
It just makes sense, doesn't it, Colleen? I mean,
I know, but some people wouldn't. You know, they would be a bit put out by it. Well, why have you got the break? And I think it's really nice that you're both so supportive.
Well, I've had a very good life
really
for music.
nice
I mean, it's OK. I'm localised. He's national, and what he does, I think he does incredibly well.
You are very close, and I read that because you were very, totally there for him when his marriage broke up, weren't you? You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, there aren't many times in Nick's life when he's out of control. And when I say that, I mean he hasn't got control of what's going on. And when those times happen, he's very lost. It doesn't happen a lot in his life, but when it has, that's kind of been my job. And that's not because I want to say I'm the older brother and like this and that. I want to do it because I love him.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic guy.
Well, listen, we're loving watching him. Can he win?
I think he can. It's a difficult one. I think Harry Redknapp. There are a lot of footballers in this country, and Harry's managed a lot of teams. So all those fans are going to be rooting for him. I think he's very down to earth and very. He just gets on with what he's doing. Nick, as Noel has said, Nick and Noel were both very strong personalities, and that's why I think they clash.
So either way, a bloke's going to win it.
No, shouldn't I say this?
No, go and say it.
My money's on Fleur.
Yeah, she's doing.
Oh, I'm telling Nick.
No. I'll tell you what. If I said today my money's on Nick, he would say to me afterwards, "You shouldn't have said that because you didn't think that." So right, I'm saying it's third because I'm not looking at just whether a person deserves anything. It's just simply I think Fleur has done fantastically well, but she's also very popular.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's all down to the public, and we never know what they're going to do, do we? We'll look forward to seeing Nick again tonight, 9 o'clock in the Jungle. For the moment, is Big Brother John Knowles. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.